Welcome, guys, to the Car Boss Postcard podcast. I have a very special guest with me today, Thong, local collector from Malaysia, from my own backyard. So, super stoked to have him here with me today to talk about a very interesting experience that he had recently. So, I'm not going to spoil you guys here. I'm going to let Sean do most of the talking today. All right. So, Sean, how are you doing today?
Good. I just came back from a basketball session, so that's why a bit sweaty. So excuse me.
It,
But yeah, take the hobby very passionately. So yeah.
Awesome. It's just for the people viewing this podcast. It's 11:20 p.m. at night at the moment local time, and Sean's just back from the game. Awesome dedication. Sean, tell me a bit about yourself, okay? For those who don't know you.
Um. So I'm Sean. Actually born in Malaysia. Local here in Selangor. Actually started collecting. Actually walked into a hobby shop in Melbourne, Australia when I studied there.
Cool.
Picked up a pack of Pokemon cards and then found out about basketball from there. So my hobby journey actually started with Pokemon. A pack of Pokemon cards for nostalgia. Um, and then just kind of got addicted since then. Had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of mistakes along the way. But everything has started to ease out, and I kind of in a sweet spot right now of where I want to be and what I'm collecting. Um, as for what I'm doing right now in the hobby, I think just trying to meet more people out there because I know that during the COVID boom, a lot of people started collecting back because of nostalgia and also there's new collectors. But I think what made the experience very enjoyable for me is actually meeting new people. So which is why I also formed one of the Facebook groups with a few other people, which is Data and Cards. So the aim is to create more social events, more face-to-face events. Of course, it's not on a large scale. Shout out to the other groups out there. But yeah, on a smaller scale, that's what we're going for right now, and hopefully we'll get the community growing a lot more. Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of stuff, man. But let's rewind a bit. So you said Melbourne, right? How many years ago was it?
I started collecting so that pack of Pokemon cards was in 2017. So
2017. So
it's about
not
like
that far back, right? So it's
not
like
that far,
what, seven
7 years
seven eight
back.
years ago.
Yeah, 7 years
Okay.
ago. Yeah.
And basketball cards came in when?
Uh right after Pokemon, like a month or two. So I would say 7 years as well. Yeah, hand in
But
hand.
were you already interested in basketball back then? As in, do you play
Yes, I
already,
was.
right? For a long time, right?
I was a huge fan of the game because I play the game, not just collect. I don't just watch the NBA. I also play the game. So of course, been watching the NBA for a really long time since I was young. So
Right.
ultimately decided to collect basketball because I knew much about the sport. Yeah.
Who is your favorite player? I mean, back then
Uh,
and maybe back then
I mean,
first.
gotta go with Jordan. I haven't watched him play live, but I mean, watching all the mixtapes and watching his fadeaway, watching his attitude. Sometimes he can be a little bit of a, a little bit of a pushy guy, but yeah, I mean, ultimately
What
that makes him the champion. Yeah.
what is your? I mean, you probably have to watch, like you said, all the mixtapes of the old games. Like, so what's your favorite like game or play that you've ever watched for Jordan?
I think gotta go with that final shot. I mean, the final shot of his Bulls career. I mean, of course, he played with the Wizards towards the end, but the final shot of his Bulls career was a bit of a
Maybe that one.
storybook ending.
Right.
It's like cinema. You really can't write that stuff up. So
Yeah.
it's the something an amazing way to go out. Yeah, amazing way to go out.
Nice. So I started watching NBA in early 1993, and that's the peak of the Jordan. That was the end of the three-peat, the first three-peat. Okay, when he
Yeah,
beat Phoenix. So he retired shortly after that, and he came back and he
yeah,
won another three
years.
straight. So
Yeah,
I managed to
straight.
watch that finals run that he had in the 3 years.
Yeah,
Not live. I mean, they weren't showing live, I think, back then. But actually, I managed to watch the entire games the entire time.
yeah,
So it was awesome.
yeah.
Cool, man.
yeah.
Cool. And today, I mean, that's a legend, right?
Today,
What about today?
I mean, you gotta go with Luca. You gotta go with Luca. You gotta go with Luca.
How do you feel, man, that he's now with the Lakers?
Uh, bit, a bit tough. bit sad, honestly. I really would have liked him to. He was supposed to overtake Dirk as the. I mean, a lot of people were hyping him up about overtaking Dirk's legacy in Dallas. But
Right.
yeah, ultimately he's a Laker now, which is, I mean, honestly good for the NBA market as a whole. One of the biggest players in basketball and one of the biggest franchises. So it's good marketing for the NBA. But yeah, ultimately it's a tough pill to swallow. Looks weird in a Lakers jersey, but yeah, ultimately I'm still a fan. Still gonna support him. Yeah.
So were you like super excited during the last year's finals run
I
for
was. I
Dallas?
was. I actually put them to. I put the Mavs to win it all.
To beat
Even before the
Boston?
play. Yeah, even before the playoffs, I put the Mavs to win it all.
Oh man,
I didn't expect.
Boston,
I
Boston is
honestly
too good,
didn't
man.
expect Boston to make it to the finals. I know they had a really
Really?
strong run, but because the Bucks had Giannis out at that time,
Mm,
and I felt
mm.
like the Boston's playoff run was a little bit lucky because a lot of the teams that they faced were injured or a lot of key players were missing.
Well, I saw a quote today that the current Boston Celtics team, which is pretty much a similar team they had last year, right? They can
Yeah,
play they can play with blindfolds on and still beat a lot of teams in NBA today.
yeah. I mean, they're a really balanced team. Yeah, they're a really balanced team.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So comparing, like you said, you watch some during the Jordan era, those games, right? And you watch some of the games today, obviously.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
which era do you actually lean towards? Like, which games do you resonates to you more? I mean, because you play basketball as well today, right? So
I think
obviously,
you
which
can't
one's which
you
one's
can't
better?
you can't really compare that. I mean a lot of people do, but you really can't because the game today is built on fast offense.
Yep,
The 3 point shot is really something that Curry has revolutionized.
yep,
Back then it's a lot of post moves and playing with big men. And then it
correct.
headed towards maybe the shoot. I would say like the shooting guard era with Wade, Kobe, Iverson,
Mhm.
T Mac doing most of the heavy work, and then now it's more towards. I mean, yes, SGA is playing his way to MVP right now, but a lot of the game right now is relying on the versatile big man. So I would say top three. I mean, Embiid was an MVP. Uh, Jokic is reigning MVP. Giannis is a two-time MVP. A lot of it plays around athletic big man, and even Wemby right now, right? Next big thing, yeah. See how
So
let's see how he holds up.
because of the fast pace or the faster pace of games, right? Do you think that it's actually more enjoyable to watch now?
Uh, it really depends. If you're a fan, I think you would enjoy the game regardless. But if
Mm,
you are comparing eras, then it really depends. I mean, of course, I think the defense today is a little bit uh, lackluster compared to last time because of the fast offense or the foul baiting.
yep.
But overall, the game is still enjoyable. Yeah.
Which is quite interesting because if you try to circle back together with card collecting, right? If you collected cards, basketball cards in the 1990s, which when I started collecting basketball cards, right? The number of players that you would collect is actually just a handful. There's always the usual people who are always popular to collect. Like
Yeah.
the Jordans, Shaquille O'Neal, Anthony Hardaway. These few popular ones. Okay, but right now today, right, when you ask anybody who collects basketball cards, the range is so many, right? Like you just mentioned, all the superstar players that's currently
Yeah.
playing. Okay, and that they can have diehard collectors for any one of them, and there are easily more than a dozen. Okay, but
Yeah.
comparing back then, right? It's like there's only so few. So if you ask, let's say, like five people, right? They'll perhaps collect either one of these five guys, right? Whereas today, you have to ask like 20 different people, and maybe they can give you 20 different names as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome as well.
I mean, a lot of the today is based on potential, right? So like
Sure.
a lot of these young players haven't accomplished much in their career,
Mm-hmm.
but they're already being compared to the greats. So that's why like a lot of the prices are actually based on potential. I would say personally, yeah.
Right, right. And do you PC anybody right now? I know your favorite player is Luca, but do you PC?
Uh, I do PC a few players. I think Luca, Kate, Jalen Green. Let's see who else. Kobe White. There are a few players I do PC, but cutting down on the collection so far, just leaning towards like changing up my collection a bit, leaning towards more unique pieces rather than the players themselves.
Okay. Well, can you give me an example? What do you mean by unique pieces?
So like maybe something with historic meaning, like a picture of Steph winning his MVP, or a picture with
Ah,
Iverson holding the MVP trophy, something like that, some stuff like that. Yeah,
nice,
more
nice.
iconic
That's
moments.
that's quite different. That's quite different. Awesome. And do you collect raw or graded or what
Uh
sort of cards?
I do both. A mix of both. I do prefer graded steps because I do have my own submission with Beckett as well. I mean, of course, we
Oh,
do
okay.
PSA submissions as well. But ultimately, for personal collection, I usually go with Beckett just because I prefer the slabs and well, you can't beat the gold labels. They look really nice on PC. Yeah.
Have you got any one of those black labels? The one that's the 10.
No, that's a dream. That's actually a dream. Haven't gotten any right now. I have gotten a 10, pristine 10 before, but never gotten a black label. That's
Right.
something, probably another chase for me, another dream. Yeah.
But you do submissions for local guys, right, in Malaysia for backup?
Yeah, I do
And
submissions for
have
local
they
guys.
have they hit the 10? Any of them?
I think there might be one coming soon.
Or as in 10, 10 black or pristine 10?
10 black. There is a 10 black coming soon. The guy hasn't.
Oh,
I haven't told him about it, but once the card is in hand, once the grade is confirmed, I will go live and probably share it in the group.
okay, okay. I'm gonna look forward to that one.
Yeah, yeah,
Got it. Okay. And besides, you like the quality of the slab, so I get it. I used to come from a backup background as well, but obviously I moved more to PSA
yeah,
today. Okay.
yeah,
But people are saying Beckett, the turnaround times are tough. What
yeah.
what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so I do agree that PSA has invested more into their system. Uh, they have made it really consumer friendly for us to actually find out about the grading process, how far off they are from grading completion. Beckett Wells is a little bit of a, you can say, traditional way. They enter in the system and you don't get updates for a while. But in terms of turnaround time, they actually do stick to 2 to 3 months periods, and sometimes
Mhm.
faster than that. I've had one time where Beckett has turned around within 1.5 months. Of course, we're only talking about the value bug submissions. I won't go into Express because then it's a different story, different pricing all along. And the other thing I would say, I mean, personally, I still prefer Beckett is because of the PSA does the upcharge. So personally, I mean, I agree. Ultimately, as a collector, when you're selling, PSA gives the highest value because a PSA 10 will always be easier to get than a Beckett 10. And PSA 10 values are strong. But the thing is, I do not like the upcharge that PSA does. I think that when you pay for a service, you pay for the service time, the order comes back to you. You shouldn't have to pay extra for the value of the card that is submitted. So that's just something that
Right.
I feel is a conflict of interest in PSA's point of view. But of course, I understand. I understand the current geopolitical, geography of the situation. Yeah.
Right. Well, normally, like myself, when you get a notification that there is an upcharge, normally it comes with a piece of good news as well. Okay.
Yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
that's the
So
thing. Like, you're happy to pay the upcharge, but if you were looking at a point of view, like, you shouldn't be paying that upcharge because you're paying for, like, example, a 50-day service. You
right.
shouldn't be paying for a 35-day service price. You are paying for the 50-day service.
Uh, that's why PSA makes it a point for you guys to be very honest with the value of the cards that you submit,
Again,
right? So
I
which
completely
level of
agree.
service that you put in.
Completely agree. But that's
Okay.
where the conflict of interest stems. Like, why is the card being priced more when the value is higher? Yeah,
Got
that's
it.
the question that I feel that should be asked, not the other way around. Of, yeah, I get an upcharge, I'm happy because I got a 10, but why am I
Understood.
paying more? Yeah, why am I paying more?
Understood.
Yeah,
Got it. Got it. And one final thing on Becker, I mean, Becker has been in the news of late, right? The CEO, the story
yeah.
of the CEO, and things like that. Does that phase you a little bit, or
No, I
any
mean,
concerns on
Beckett
your
has
end?
been around. Beckett has been around for years. They were the gold standard of grading. I think, to be honest, they are really more fair with their. I mean, more fair in the sense that, because they show the false upgrades, if you choose to, and
Mhm.
sometimes, honestly, some of the cards, off centering that PSA does is really crazy sometimes.
Mm.
The tens do look really off centered.
Yep.
I know they have changed their policy recently to make grading stricter, so let's see how it goes with that. But overall, Beckett has given me a more comfortable feel with how my card goes. And ultimately, I think yes, there was some news. Beckett was in for I think like 3, 4, 5 months ago. I'm not sure, but there was a takeover from another company, and I think they're turning it around. They have made some changes to their system, website, and all that. So let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, the most expensive card in my PC at the moment is Beckett, surprisingly, despite me being a huge advocate for PSA. So
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
knows, right? All right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about the main topic today, which is about sports car brakes. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
get into your story a little bit. Okay. Now, I personally don't take part into brakes. Okay. I have my
Yeah.
reasons as well. I think
Yeah.
some people don't get into brakes for similar reasons, but you get into brakes, right?
Yeah. I do. I do.
Okay. And when do you start getting into brakes?
2018, I think. 2018
Wow.
Luca year. So Lorry Luca
Really?
year, that was my case.
And why? And why? Why do you buy brakes?
Well, you couldn't afford a box, so you went for the cheaper option.
Is it? I mean, it's people always say, right? The ROI is really bad. So,
Didn't really think of the ROI.
mhm,
More from a collector's point of view, you just enjoyed the thrill of the chase. You couldn't afford a
okay.
box like Prism Hobby Box, what it costs like 700 USD.
Hmm.
You can't really afford 700 USD, so you just go try and get one of the teams, and then when you get a team, you just hope that one of your players comes out, and it's the thrill of the chase. Yeah, have joined breaks for some time now. Cut down honestly the past 3 years, 2 years. I think that breaks are fun if you can control yourself. I think a word to the new collectors out there. Don't try and collect everything. Try and focus what you want to collect on, and try and only join if you can afford it. Don't try and. Sometimes it's not good to just splurge and splash. I know a lot of people say like, "Oh, I just gotta go for it," but yeah, it doesn't work out most of the time. Yeah, so
Yeah, definitely. Before we touch into the one card that you
yeah,
recently
yeah,
got, right? Was
yeah.
there any big hits that you can recall prior to this one?
Yeah, probably most iconic for me personally, my own personal story would be my two Curry Nebulas. So I hit
Curry Nebula?
Stephen Curry Nebulas. So
Oh,
the one of one Spectra Nebulas. One is an autograph of Stephen Curry, and one is the subset. I cannot remember. I think it's one of the spectacular awards. I can't remember the exact subset for Spectra in 2019. But yeah, hit two Stephen Curry Nebulas back to back in 2 weeks. So that was
holy
yeah,
cow!
that was the luckiest
How
2 weeks of my collecting journey, I guess. Yeah.
how did that feel, man? Like, do you run around and
I
celebrate, or
mean,
what
of
do you
course,
do, man?
you've been in breaks so long. You've been collecting for so long. You don't expect anything, to be honest. You actually don't. You always hope deep down you do, but when it hits, you just don't know how to feel. You just lost for words. I wish everyone has an opportunity to feel that, of course. But yeah, it's actually a fun feeling, like something really unexpected. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, and with the latest NT break, right? Tell us a story, right? When you told me the story, I found it like I assume that when you get into breaks, you want to really watch it live, and then you wanna see go through the entire break and see your thing come up or whether or not you come up. But tell me a story. What happened? And
So
tell me your emotions after that.
So I actually I hit a Jalen Brunson logo man from an NT break. I joined it. Joined an NT break in I think Indonesia, and I didn't watch the break because I was busy. I was out at dinner, or I was out doing my errands or something like that. The breaker actually messaged me saying that you better watch the stream. Better come watch it. So I watched it. I didn't expect a Jalen Brunson logo man autograph. To be honest with you, I expected like something smaller, maybe a Julius Randle, RJ Barrett logo man, probably without the auto. But yeah, I got what I think like the second biggest hit of the Knicks. I mean, the biggest was probably the you would have gotten is the Carmelo Anthony logo man autograph. But yeah,
Right.
still a huge hit. I mean, probably again, like I mentioned, same feeling. You just don't expect it, and when you hit stuff like that, you just go into like whoa. Yeah, you just go whoa.
Just,
Yeah.
just out of curiosity, how much was the buy-in for that break?
I couldn't recall it. NT's probably on the pricier side. Yeah, but I really can't remember it off the top of my head.
Okay, and the moment you realize that you won, right? Like what do you do right after that?
Well, I sat on my bed and took a screenshot, and like every other person, I think every other sane person, I would have probably jumped up a bit.
Nice,
And after that,
nice.
I started telling friends, started telling a few people, and yeah, then couldn't sleep that night for late. I think I was super excited. Yeah, but
Wow.
best logo man hit of my life. So I'm sure it's a feeling that not many people get to go through, but it's
Well,
unbelievable.
I can tell you 100% sure I will never ever have that feeling
Yeah,
because I don't get breaks. So
yeah,
it's something that I can just envy, and will never again
yeah,
experience in my life.
yeah,
Got it, got it. And you mentioned that the break was from Indonesia, right? So that's not very far away from where we are in Malaysia. So
yeah.
how fast did the card reach you after that? It was in
The
Indonesia.
breaker used like FedEx, so it reached about like 3 days, 3 business days. That was quite fast. Yeah,
Got it, got it. And were you excited in the mail, to get the mail, things like
I was panicking actually. I was scared
that?
I was lost in the mail. Yeah,
I saw the photo of you, sharing, holding in your hand. I'm going to
yeah,
use that photo to be on the thumbnail for this YouTube video. Is
yeah.
that right?
That's completely fine.
All
Yeah,
right. And that's the face of somebody totally in awe, basically,
yeah, yeah,
of what you got in hand.
yeah,
Got it. Okay. Cool. So I mean that's an awesome story, and that's awesome advice for people out there, who get into breaks as well. I know that
yep,
in Malaysia, breaks is becoming increasingly popular. I see
yeah,
a lot of people buying it, although not to the NT level. I don't see many people on the NT level yet, but
yeah,
definitely the number of people who are getting into breaks are getting more and more in Malaysia.
yeah, yeah.
Cool. Awesome, awesome. So, I mean, that's a cool story. Maybe before we close up, you want to have anything else that you want to share?
Yeah, I actually do. Yeah, so probably something I probably want to share is I actually recently started like I would say more like a guard for your slabs, so slab protected guards. Um, Starting my own brand, they called Card Up. You can find us on Instagram at cart.bit. I do sell Beckett and PSA slab guards. So I call them.
Got it.
They call the Aegis guards, and they're available for 50 ringgit a piece. They come in shadow black and chrome gold. So if anyone is interested, would like to use this opportunity to offer anyone to contact us on our Instagram at cut.bit, and we can work it out.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right, cool, man. Thanks, Sean, for coming on to share this story. To me, I'm just because I don't get breaks, so it's
Yeah,
awesome to listen from the
uh,
perspective of someone
thing
who
like
made it, who made it. Okay.
thing probably would want to add that just for the new people out there that want to join BRICS, I think it's really important to know your financial situation and also like managing your funds when you want to join BRICS. Because I've seen people that join on stop and they come back hitless. So sometimes it's better to take a break, buy what you like, and if you feel like it, you're feeling lucky, you want to go and try and enjoy the thrill of the chase, then feel free to join breaks. But yeah, word to the wise, always learn how to manage your funds. Yeah,
All right, awesome advice. And with that, that's the end of this show. Do like subscribe for this channel for more content in future. Thanks again,
yeah.
Sean, for joining us today.
Follow
Till the
up,
next
boss.
one. All right, what's up?